you're searching for improved security and a sharp appearance for the bed of your 2020 or newer Gladiator JT, this Roll and Lock M Series retractable bed cover will be right up your alley. Now, this premium bed cover will have the look of a soft cover and the security of a hard cover for the JT owner looking to keep it stylish when it comes to protecting the valuables inside of their bed. Now, this cover will also be incredibly easy to operate for somebody who doesn't want all that added hassle when it comes to opening and closing the cover, while allowing you a lot of space inside of the bed for storage, even with this casing in the back. Now, I would like to mention right up front that there is a version of this that will work with or without the trail rail system, so I would just keep that in mind if you plan on purchasing in this, and just be mindful of which one you're adding to your cart. Now, this will feature an incredibly low-profile configuration with an almost flush design to the sides of the bed compared to some other bulkier options. Now, again, this will be incredibly user-friendly and pretty versatile when it comes to the operation, with a cylinder-style lock and the ability to be positioned at multiple open positions and the easy-to-pull strap on the front. Now, what is nice too is that you can open this, lock it, and close it without having to touch the tailgate, which is pretty nice if you just need to grab a quick tool or have something resting on the top of the tailgate where you don't want to open it. Now, when it comes to the construction, this thing is very well built with a vinyl over an aluminum build. So again, you're getting that durable vinyl material for that soft cover look, but underneath is a tough aluminum frame for optimal security and durability. The design will also feature a torsion spring enclosed in a 3-inch aluminum casing and a contoured hinge design for frictionless rotation and a smooth operation. Now, like I mentioned before, this also will have a pretty small canister to house the cover once it's rolled up, compared to its competitor sitting only at 7¼ inches deep, saving you a decent amount of space inside the bed. Not to mention, there's no major modification for this. If you might have to do a little bit of modification to the inner bed liner if you do have a plastic inner bed liner. However, this is just going to clamp onto the side and is going to come with everything that you need right out of the box. Now, retractable covers are more of a premium option, and this one will come in at about $1,600. Now, comparing this to others on the site, again, you're getting a lot of security, style, and ease when it comes to the cover, and even some storage benefits with the smaller canister here. Now, comparing to other retractable options on the page, some may not come with the vinyl on top for that softer, slick appearance. They may have more of an aluminum or hard appearance to them. They may not have as low profile as a fit as this does, and may not have a lock and key and only lock with the tailgate. Now, it comes down to what you want out of a cover and your application. So I think, again, if you're looking for a premium choice for effortless bed security, then this is going to be right up your alley. As far as install is concerned, this is going to be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 30 minutes to get the job done. And speaking of the install, we're going to go ahead and head over to the shop and check out a detailed breakdown of what that process looks like. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a Phillips head screwdriver, a 6mm Allen bit, and then depending on how you install this, either a plastic pry tool or a drill and a 1/2-inch drill bit.
What's up, guys? Today we're installing a retractable bed cover on our Gladiator, so let's get started. So our first step is to install our side rails. Now, we have 4 threaded holes on the side of our bed that we'll be installing our Phillips head screws into. So we can line this up. And then once we have our rail installed on one side, we can do the same thing on the other side. So once we have our rails installed on both sides, our next step is to install our track blocks. Now we have a wider side and a smaller side. The smaller is going to be facing in the bed. So you can just slide that in. We'll have one towards the rear of the bed, one towards the front. And we don't have to get these lined up perfect for right now. We're just installing them into our rails. So our next step is to install our flashing. Now we have double-sided tape strips on the back here.
So peel off the backing. This is gonna sit right up against the bulkhead. You can add self-tapping screws into these holes on either side if you would like to, but it's not required. So now we have our canister lifted into the bed. We're gonna push this up against the front side of the bed and make sure it's even on both sides. Now our next step is to install our side rails. So the first thing we're gonna do is come to the knob in the center of our canister, and we're gonna turn it to the 10 o'clock position. And then we can flip our rail over. The side with the 2 Phillips head screws is going to be going towards the front. And then we can do that same thing on the other side. So now we can secure our rail to our canister. We have a little hole right here, right behind the canister. We're going to be using our Phillips head screw with the blue thread locker. And then on the back side, we have this little bracket with a threaded hole that our screw is going to go into. And then we can do that same thing on the other side. So now we can go back and slide our track blocks into position. We want them right behind our silver brackets. And then we'll be taking our Allen head bolt with a lock washer and then a flat washer and threading them into our track blocks. And now we can take a 6mm Allen bit to tighten down our 2 bolts. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. So now our next step is to install our 2 drain hoses. There's going to be one on each side. From the manufacturer, they recommend that you drill a 1/2-inch hole through this grommet here. Instead of doing that, I'm just going to pop it out with a plastic pry tool. And then we have our drain fitting right up here. So we'll press our hose into that and then run it down through that hole. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So our next step is to install our cargo shield. This is going to meet up to these threaded holes on either side. So first we'll come to the middle and remove this wing nut off of our strap. And we can get that out of the way. And then through the front we're going to be using one of our screws, and then we're going to use one of our foam washers on the inside. Then we can take a Phillips head screwdriver, screw that down. So now our last step is to install our canister cover. Now we have a little slot right here that our pin on the inside is going to meet up with, and then we're going to put our Phillips head screw through the hole and into the threaded insert on our canister. So we'll get that pin into the channel and then pull forward. And then we'll take our Phillips head screw with our washer and thread it into our hole. And then we can take our Phillips head screwdriver to tighten that up. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Roll and Lock M Series retractable bed cover for your 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator JT. Thank you for watching, and for all things Gladiator, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.